Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to start on the Shinkchocchou Seihou Kamen Rider Dark Kiva from SH Figuarts Bandai. Man, I am fucking excited for this. It's one of those things where it's like, yo, it's just, I'm generally excited. Everyone knows I love Kamen Rider, and this is no different. I have thoroughly enjoyed this line, and it's one of those things where I'm going to have my fun here. I want to address some audio issues that I've been having for quite a long time. So I've gotten to the point where instead of constantly trying to test it on my camera, I've gone back to my phone, especially now that I've upgraded my phone, because I have ran out of memory. There's nothing I could do. No matter what I was deleting, it just wasn't enough memory, especially when you're shooting in what's supposed to be 4K, 24 frames. So it just, you know, have at thee. Thank you for the patience, but there's nothing I can do about a lot of it. But yeah, I'm working things out. But yeah, back to Dark Kiva. Look. There's no way in the world you can't tell me something like this just doesn't catch your eye with just how magnificently it is presented to you. This is very, very pretty. And it's one of those things where I tell people all the time, even if you don't know what Kamen Rider is, even if you don't even have the slightest idea, you want to call it Power Rangers, you cannot deny something like this being this pretty. It's just impossible. So we're going to talk about our look and our vampire-based look of the Vampire King. Actually, Dark Kiva was like 3 people, so yeah. Our look on it is just dope. We have that visor that just, it's just so pretty and breaks the color of the red and black so well. Our articulation on our head, we can tilt left, we can tilt right, we can look up, and we can even look down. It presses into its neck to look down just a little bit, mostly down on its opponents. Our shoulder pads are actually attached to the arms. That means when we lift our arm up, shoulder pad moves with it. Therefore, you don't get a lot of pressing up against other parts and losing track of what's going on. You have a bicep swivel. We are double jointed, which is utterly fantastic. This is where you may have a slight issue with your armor here, your armor gauntlets getting in the way. But as you can see, when you rotate down, you have that double joint. We also have a nice butterfly rotation joint on the inside, as you can see here. We can push it back in, make it look flush. We have this magnificent motherfucking cape. Oh my God, I love this thing. This is so nice. I wish every SHF that had a cape came with a cape this glorious. Like, it's bunched, it's wired, it looks utterly fantastic when presenting it. This is the pinnacle of why I get custom capes, because stuff like this just adds so much flavor to this figure. Look at that. Now, as far as our upper torso area goes, we can tilt around, but we don't get that extra crazy ab crunch that we look for, that we've been getting lately. But you do get enough so that movement does look really good and fluid, especially because it doesn't break up the chest part too much, but it does look like a suit design for movement. So you do get nice movement. Now, when you combine this with moving all the other parts, I do think that you'll have something very magnificent. There is no drop down leg method, so please don't try to drop that down, but we can go to a 90 degree, a little bit forward extra with the leg. We have a beautiful double joint. It doesn't go very far, but I'll get to that in a second. We have a magnificent thigh. The thigh cut here allows for a really deep cut rotation, and we can extend out. We have super generous ankle pivot, despite the fact that he looks like a heavily armored super knight vampire. So when you combine all of these and you just look at your movement, right? Let's flock this cape up just a little bit to look utterly fantastic to fit that look. This guy just, I love this. Yes, I do. So yeah, look at this. Like, he is not pressed for anything. Like, this guy just looks fantastic. And that about rounds up what we're going to see with our look and articulation. As far as accessory goes, he is very light, but it kind of adds itself to the fact that the character didn't need much. He would beat the bricks off of you just because. So you will get your fusils that are added as a separate thing. You get Dogabaki. I can't remember them right now, but the names. But these are the his 3 knights that he kind of had on his beckon, and he would add to his to the Kivat belt. So with Dark Kivat, the only issue I'm having is that I can flip mine up, which is no issue. This is where you add the fusils at. This is pretty dope. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can flip that up to add fusils, right? But my belt is sticking to my Dark Kiva because it's supposed to come off. He comes attached on belt to Dark Kiva. So if anybody else removes there, let me know because I'm having trouble removing mine. You also get fusils for this side. This is for doing finishes and things like that. And then you will get hands. So let's talk about those hands real fast. So let's leave him in this really cool pre-posed position that I've had him in for Dark Kiva. Ooh, yes, sexy. Let's keep that. Let's keep that energy. Now, you will get the signature pressed vampire hands that Kiva also has. Dark Kiva comes with those. You will get two semi-pointing, semi-relaxed hands. You will get, where did it go? Here we go. A more pointing hand, a more / item holding hand. Now, this is where I'm actually going to test something from the old one. So I have the old one here, right? And he comes with these weapons. So you'll get the Saga Sword, and you'll also get the King Kivat sword. And I'm going to test it in these very hands. I know I've showed someone on Instagram, and they were worried that he wouldn't be able to hold it, but here he is holding it with no problem. So all you have to do is press it into the right angle, and he will hold his said sword. So, the King Kivat sword, no problem. Now let's check the Saga Sword. This one's a little bit bigger, but technically he can hold it, but it's gonna look a little out of place. So keep that in mind. So you have these more open one, so you can use this for the Saga Sword. There we go. So it holds the Saga Sword with no issue. So there you have that. That is dope. I like the idea of that. Now, one more thing I want to test is the fact that you also can use the violin set from Kiva, because I don't know if you guys have seen the series, but people like to play violins here, and technically he can hold it as well, which is really dope. So please, 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 for those of you that like Kiva, go ahead and get that old stuff. You might enjoy yourself here. But yes, without further ado, I want to take a quick break, and then we're gonna jump into size comparison as we make Dark Kiva the king of the story here. So let me get set up and talk to you guys. Now we're going to jump into those size comparisons. The first thing I want to do is compare it to the old Dark Kiva, which for a long time I was like, oh my god, we're never gonna get Dark Kiva again. And then if we look at these two next to each other, don't get it twisted, this guy does look nice, but compared to this guy on the left here, I mean, this is you, and you know, I'm sorry, this is you, and this is the guy she tell you not to worry about. That's a joke, right? But it's just, I've held on to this guy for so long. He actually still has come in handy by still being able to give me weapons for my new Dark Kiva. But I really, really, really do love this new piece. It just stands out in every which way. It's utterly beautiful. And I appreciate you because of you, we got this guy. So let's take you away, and then we'll talk about what it looks like next to some other Kiva SHF. So far we've gotten regular Kiva. We have Emperor announced and on the way as well too. So here is regular Kiva. And as you can see, these guys actually stack up pretty well with each other. As you see, Kiva's head is a lot larger. This one actually kind of tones it down a bit to even out that body proportion for Kiva. Next up, we have Ixa, the Templar Knight, who, you know, fought and then became Dark Kiva. As you can see here, these guys look great as well. And just in case you want to see all three, here we are, what we've got with Kiva so far. So actually, we'll rotate over just a tad bit. There we go. On my little phone setup. And as you can see, these guys look good. Now, talking about other lines and crossing over into other things, let's do that. Here we are with a normal SHF Kamen Rider Saber. Now, the reason I bring Saber into this is because Saber is actually a little bit bigger than normal SHF and then bigger than some Shinkchocchou Seihou. And as you can see, he actually is bigger than Dark Kiva here as well. Custom skirt by SHF Upgrade, in case you're wondering. So here we are with a Lightning Collection White Ranger, which is still a little bigger than SHF, but I think that these two will actually look pretty good next to each other. Here we are with an Articulated Icons Ninja, which now you can have Vampire Ninjas, and I think that'll work out pretty well as a nice background filler. A Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Oop. Sorry, Ben, don't knock down the cape. That's not a good idea. And then here we are with a G.I. Joe Commando Snake Eyes. So while SHF is still on the smaller side, it does look pretty good with the rest of these guys. Who else can we call? Ooh. You know what? Haven't done a Mythic Legion or Storm Collectibles. Here is Cyrex from Storm Collectibles. And as you know, the Storm stuff is bigger, but you can have fun just having them hash it out big beef style. It's like, yo, I don't care how tall you are, we're gonna fight. Same thing applies here with Mythic Legions. I feel like even though he is a bigger figure, it doesn't hurt to have these two kind of, because nobody's the same size in anything. If you fought a Minotaur, you think you'd be the same size as him? Like, so have at thee and have fun, for real. But yeah, I think that wraps me up now with Dark Kiva. My biased thoughts are that it's super awesome. I want it. I hope everybody goes out and purchases one. And you know, but unbiasedly, if you don't know anything about this, that doesn't mean you have to get it, but I do hope you appreciate the beautiful art of it. If you feel like you've had issues with yours, I'm sorry that you do. There are a couple of things I did hear about. I know some people were having paint scrape issues. I'm not sure if that's a thing, but I have heard that, as well as arm breakage. Again, I don't have those issues, but I hope nobody else does either. And I'm hoping that person that did have it gets a replacement. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for putting up with my cursing. I got a little too excited earlier. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're drinking water. I hope that you are exercising where you can. I hope that you are resting your brain where you can. Try not to worry about the things you can't control. And as always, please, be good, do good. Drink your water, guys. Later.